Hi girls, welcome back. So today we are correcting the work that I gave you on Wednesday. So there were two parts to question 8 that you needed to do on Wednesday, just directly after the live class. So I'm going to correct those now. Earlier on I did mention, on Wednesday I mentioned that you needed to have the center of your copy kind of taken out. So pull out the center page of your copy. I also said that you needed a scissors and there was one or two other things. I'll just get it for you here now. Yeah, a ruler and a pencil. So they were everything that you needed for today's class. So I am just going to draw out those two shapes. I've been given the volume and I have to work backwards in order to calculate the length of the side B and the side C. So as you can see in my copy there, I have drawn out the two shapes. The first one, it is a cuboid, and you should always write out the volume of what that is. So it's length by the width by the height. We saw in class today that it's always best to write the numbers directly underneath the values that you have if you have them. So the volume we actually have been given in this question, it was 420 meters cubed. So just write it directly underneath, 420. The length of this is 10, the width of it is 6, and the height of it is what we're looking for, and it's the letter B. So there's nothing I can do on the left hand side with the 420, so just leave it as it is. But we can multiply all of those on the right hand side. 10 by 6 is 60. 60 by the letter B is 60B. Okay, so 60B. What we're looking for is B on its own. These two items are multiplied, and as you would have seen from algebra, to get rid of multiplication, the opposite to multiply is divide. So it's going to be 420 and you're going to divide by 60. You'll grab your calculator and do that calculation on your calculator. So it's 420 divided by 60, which is 7. So B is equal to 7 meters. Okay, and that's part 2 done. Part 3, you do the very same thing. The volume is equal to the length by the width by the height. The length of this, I don't know what it is, so it's C by 14 by the height, which is 8. And I was meant to write in what the actual volume was. The volume was 2,240 equals. And I can multiply the 14 by 8 on my calculator and see what it is, which is 112, which is also multiplied by C, so it's 112C. Again, I'm looking for the value of C on its own. These two items are multiplied. To get rid of multiplication, you do the opposite, which is division. So C is equal to 2,240 divided by 112. So C is equal to 20. And it's centimeters. Make sure you put in the unit. Okay, so people have been forgetting the units in the last couple of questions and in the assignment as well. So basically, I've now kind of finished doing surface area and volume of basic shapes. We've looked at a number of different questions. So we did all of 1, 2, and 3. We did 5, 6, and 8. The questions on the overleaf of this are a few harder kind of problem questions, and some of you got to those today, or the other day, which is fantastic. But what I'd like you to do now is turn to page 212, 212. And we're going to look at the nets of solids. And you're going to grab a highlighter and highlight exactly what I'm highlighting. So to measure the surface area of a solid, it can be helpful to be able to draw the net of the solid. So just highlight that. So sometimes doing surface area can be tricky. And if you were able to draw the net, and I'm going to explain what that is in a second, it makes it easier to visualize what all of the surfaces are. If you do technical graphics or graphics, a net is the exact same thing as a development. So there's two different words for a development. You can have a development or a net. And basically, when you have a 3D shape like this one, that's an assembly. Let's say that's your 3D shape. And you open it out flat. So if I was to open out all of the sides, you'd be getting a thing that's known as a net. Okay, and I'm going to talk about that for a couple of minutes. And today, the whole point of this is for you to actually do your own development or net. Now, consider each edge of a solid as a hinge. Okay, so if you take the solid here on the right hand side and you start opening out all of the surfaces and you lay it out flat on the ground or on the table, you're going to have a net, and that's what it is when you open out the 3D shape into 2D. Okay, so each surface, and you're going to highlight, can be opened out and laid flat in many different ways. So this is just one solution, but there are loads of different ways of opening out a cube. Conversely, if we are given the net, you can fold it back up into the 3D shape. On the right is a closed net of a rectangular box. It has a base, a top, and 4 sides. The net the net of an open rectangular box has a base, 4 sides, but no top. And it's just saying that there are 11 different ways to do the net of a cube. So these are 2 more different ways of actually drawing the net of a cube. When you talk about objects, okay, and I'm just going to talk about this 3D object. The top of this and the bottom of it are the exact same size. They have to be, otherwise it won't be symmetrical and the shape won't fit together. So on a cuboid or a cube, there are 6 different faces. Okay, there's 6 different faces in total. And there's always 2 of them that are a mirror image of each other. So these 2 are the exact same size, these 2 are the exact same size, and these 2 are the exact same size. When I start labeling items for you, I always kind of label it the front, the side, and the top, or the front, the front, the side, the top, or the bottom, or whatever it is. Okay, so that's what we've been looking at when we were doing those 3D shapes, and I'll just reflect back and show you what I was talking about. When I label it the front, the side, and the top, and there was 2 fronts, there was 2 sides, and there was 2 tops. Okay, and it's just the same in this. So I have asked you to take out the center page of your copy. Now, not everyone has an A4 copy, so this is from an A4 copy, and I've pulled out the center and I've actually cut down through the center, so I'm only left with 1 sheet. So that's what I'm looking for. Okay, so I have my 1 sheet. If you have a smaller copy, so your normal like A5 copy, and you pull out the center, if you just open it out flat, that's what you're looking for. Okay, so that's size. It would be fantastic if it had the squares in this, because it would make it so much easier for you to draw a net. What we were going to do today is draw this shape. This is the net of a cube, and it's the most familiar to everybody that it is a cube. I'm going to talk through the sides. The green face there is the bottom of it. Okay, and attached to the bottom are the 2 sides. So you can see the first side and the second side. Attached to the 2 sides and the base is the front and the back. So that's the front, and I'm going to call this BACK, back. And the last remaining one is the top. Okay, so the front, the side, and the top is what I normally talk about when I'm doing the 3D shapes. But there's 2 sides. The front and the back are the exact same, so that's essentially a second front. The top and the bottom are essentially the same size. So there's 2 T's, there's 2 sides, and there's 2 F's, 2 fronts. They're the exact same thing. So today we're going to actually start making the cube. So get rid of all your stuff that you just are left with your sheet of paper in front of you. I asked you to have a ruler today, and I also asked you to have a scissors. What we're going to do is actually do the development. And the development at the end of it is going to look something like this. But yours is going to be bigger because we're going to make a bigger version of it. On this, the edge length or the sides of it is 50. But we're going to use the squares in our copy because it's easier to measure the squares of our copy. Okay. And I'm going to say that this cube is 9 boxes tall, 9 boxes wide and 9 boxes in length. Okay, so as a cube, it's 9 squares in your copy that way, 9 squares in your copy this way, and 9 squares in your copy that way. So the first thing I want you to do is measure in at least 9 boxes, and you're going to draw a line. So at least 9 boxes. So I have kind of mine outlined that I stepped in 4 boxes first, and then I measured the 9 boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I can draw a line there as my starting line lightly, just very lightly. I'm going to draw a line there. I'm then going to measure in 9 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to draw a light line there. Okay. So you can see I have the 9 boxes. I now need to get 9 boxes in this direction on both sides. So what I'm trying to replicate is, so this surface inside here is going to create a box in the middle. And just over here, I've started the sides. The 2 sides are going to fit in over here. So I've measured down 2 boxes to start me off. I'm going to draw a horizontal line lightly. And I'm going to count 9 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to draw another vertical line all the way down the center of my page. Okay. So again, everything is 9 boxes in length. So measure down 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And draw a horizontal line. That's a line going across all the way across your page. So I have the side. You can see I have a perfect square. And I'm going to call it side. I'm now going to count down another 9 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And draw another horizontal line. Again, all the way across my page. Okay. And you should hopefully start to see your shape coming in. This is the bottom and the side. So I must have another side attached over here. And on the left hand side, I have a front, which I haven't fully measured, but you should see it in that where your lines all intersect. I have a box created to the left. I have a box on top. I have a box in the center. I'm now going to get the other side by counting down 9 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And again, redraw your line in and call this the other side. Okay, so at the minute, I have 4 faces of the cube done. I have 2 faces left. The front and the back are always going to be aligned and joined together, so they have to be the same size. But because this is a cube, it's also going to be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Draw your line in, lightly for the moment. And I'm going to call that the back of it. It's also the same as the front. And then there's one more side, which is the top. So we're going to count out another 9 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So hopefully you can see on my page, it kind of looks like a cross. There are 6 boxes. I've yet to label the last one, which I'm going to call the top. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm going to cut around the outside. Okay, and I'll have my net at that stage. And then on all of the lines on the inside, I'm going to fold down and fold down and fold and fold and fold for a last time. So then that this can become a cube. Okay, and I'm then going to get a little bit of tape, whether it is sellotape or masking tape. I'm going to join all of the corners like I've done here. Okay, and that'll be today's class. What I'll ask you to do with the shape then is I want you to get the volume and the surface area of that shape. So it should be straightforward enough, the volume and the surface area, and we're going to leave it like that. So grab the scissors, cut on the lines as accurately and as neatly as you can. all the way around. And when you've this done, you're going to join me live just for attendance, and we'll just get the area and volume, sorry, the surface area and volume of the entire shape. Okay, so just to recap, the flat shape that I'm getting at the minute is known as a net, and it's when you open out any 3D shape into 2D. Okay, the shape that you get is called a net in maths. In drawing, if you do technical graphics, it's known as a development. Okay, and it both means the exact same thing. Okay, cutting around all the outsides. Now you can see that I need to recut this line because it's just not actually short enough. Okay, so that's perfect. And again, cutting this one. Now, yes, the paper can be a little bit flimsy just because it's light, but it's very helpful because you have all the squares to make sure that they're going to be straight lines. Okay, you're then going to fold down on each of the corners or on each of those lines. Okay, so fold, and actually I need to fold that just a little bit better just to make sure I'm getting the full square in. Okay, so you can see there, that's perfect now. Then fold it open, then fold back the next side, making sure again you're getting the full squares in. And then fold it down. I'm actually after forgetting to cut one more side edge off. Okay, folding down the next side. And keep doing this until you have all of the edges accounted for. You're then going to grab some tape and you are going to, as best as you can, folding down all of the corners to make your 3D shape. Okay, and that's my last one. When it comes to sticking this, and my advice to you on this is get some sort of a box that you have that's hard. Okay, you're going to grab a little bit of, in my case, I'm going to use a little bit of masking tape if I can find it. Alternatively, you can use sellotape. Oh, yeah, found it. Okay, grab a little bit of tape. Okay. Get the box. Get a little bit of tape on it, that you're getting a good solid stick on it. Okay. Put the box on the flat surface here. And just join the two sides together. Flat, again, that you're getting a really good tight joint on that, and you should get those corners to kind of match up again. Just refold them if you need to. Okay, so I have most of the box done. Redo this, so get another little piece of tape for here. Use the box to stick it. Okay, making sure it's going to be nice and strong. Put your box on the inside of it. And now just be really careful that you're getting the best stick you can. Okay, and as you can see, I'm aligning the squares is what I'm doing. Okay, and again, refold the square. You're going to then join the corners all the way around and join in the last side. Again, using something solid to help you get that square and cube shape all the way around. So I'm going to mess around and get that cube fully finished, and you can do the same and join me live right now.